maybe we can start by like discussing, what we wanted to do in the beginning, where the idea came from, and how it ended up changing. Kev?
Yeah, well, the initial project was supposed to be kind of a comparison video to take two prime locations with the same theme in Montreal and kind of run through perhaps like different menu options to expose this to tourists and people that are new to Montreal to be able to kind of find these hidden gems. But obviously plans changed as going from 8 venues or from 4 venues with 4 themes to 8 venues was just highly ambitious in my opinion, and it was not necessarily feasible for the amount of time that we needed to dedicate to each video.
So you can talk to us about the scheduling and all that, and like our
Yeah,
planning.
so
Our
for the
planning
scheduling,
was.
I took SurveyMonkey, I think. I
Yeah.
took a system to plan everyone because it wasn't easy. So that's why at the bagel place with the sin, we were the 4 of us, Phil, Genika, Mary, and me. And then because your schedule wasn't working, so we managed this together.
On scheduling, I thought that was one of the challenges that we faced. Is initially I didn't want to go to the Sandbach, I wanted to go to Brutopia, but just kind of trying to work something out with the management there and have a day where it didn't actually conflict with class was difficult. And then even when we like after it just being too problematic to book at Brutopia, we turned around and it was like, okay, let's go to the Sandbach. And the Sandbach was great. However, the management that had spoken to me and agreed to allow us to shoot didn't talk to the actual on-staff management, so no one knew we were coming, which made for kind of like a kind of
Which is
situation.
much better than when we took for granted that going to La Banquise would be super easy to film.
Yeah.
And they ended up saying like, no, you can't film, you need permission, and
That we needed to
the crazy line of like 100 people before us to get in. Okay, so target audience.
Okay, so the target audience, since we were we were going to Montreal staple places, so like most famous places, it was mainly like international students. That's what we agreed on, and tourists. So basically, like people who would need to discover Montreal would be there for the first time and wants to really have a feel or vibe with Montreal. Because also mainly those places are not too expensive, they're really affordable. So if you're a student, like you can afford a poutine, which is like less than $10. So that's basically our target audience.
Yeah, and I guess the budget was, I think we kind of forgot to, set a budget at the beginning. We kind of said, hey, let's go to these places, and no one really like said, hey, it's gonna cost this much because we have to eat everywhere.
We got lucky at the same book.
Yeah.
The team offered us the beer.
Yeah.
So they chose the most popular beer.
Yeah.
And then
Kind of like the best description of the products that they produce, which was fantastic. And with 10 selections, so we didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But luckily we didn't have to get any of the equipment or borrow or rent any of the equipment since we had it, so that was part of the budget.
Yeah, I think that was, and like I hadn't done editing in a while, and there was like a free high quality professional software that I could use, which is like Resolve by Blackmagic. So that was like cool because I didn't have to pay for a license. Another thing that was hard I find was like the communications, maybe. I found though that, at first for the first paper we were replying to emails like reply all day, and that was just stupid because it didn't work. And then we did the Facebook Messenger thing, which was like much better to be able to quickly send stuff and agree on stuff. But then it would end up getting cluttered with like a bunch of questions or repeats and comments, and then someone would see the messages like an hour later and there would be like 50 messages. And
So they didn't know, like, it's like we all agreed to this schedule, and
which was like 50 messages
an hour,
before, So we weren't super on that.
But since we were all on Facebook Messengers, then for some scheduling, we did some Facebook poll in the conversation. So that was that worked.
So I want to talk about level of quality. Like you had like this format at the beginning, and like I think nowadays everyone is an expert in videos, right? Like we just see YouTube videos around, and everyone knows what they want to see and how things look good. And so like you had your thing. I want a shot of this. I want a shot of this. And then when you get up to editing, like you realize the level, like what's expected of everyone is pretty high, you know, and we don't necessarily have the stock shot we thought we had. And then you're trying to make something, you know, and people want, you know, they want to see like a text appear, they want to see this appear, and then all that stuff takes a lot of time. And then you end up, you know, having to decide, okay, what's the actual level of quality we want, you know, like keeping the look, using what we have, and trying to make everything look a bit the same was very, you know, challenging.
Yeah, you managed to do it well, and also in the editing of videos with the length of the video, we needed to add voiceovers and even like stretch footage. Double La Banquise, we had to go film at La Fontaine Park right across the street because we didn't have enough inside footage because of the...
We really underestimated the quantity of footage we needed to do a strictly voiceover type of video.
I was gonna say that we gave ourselves enough time to actually do these mistakes and to like correct them before it was too late. Like we didn't start at the last minute.
That's
Like,
true.
We had a lot of slack.
Planning.
If there was, we gave enough ourselves enough slack that if the videos were finished on the 1st of November, but they're only due on the 26th, we still had the time to correct all of those, you know, mistakes or inaccuracies.
Yeah.
And then with Phil editing, of course, there was some changes, and then
we
needed
had to know where.
add voiceovers,
Yeah.
so at least we had time to do this. And
I think that the quality of the videos are kind of like pretty high, take into consideration the limitations that we had, be it equipment.
So maybe if we do like a round table, like just like everyone saying, you know, what they found the most challenging and what they learned doing this project.
Well, basically, what I learned was that you have to be well prepared. Like you have to ask the managers beforehand and not just assume going there you're gonna be able to video or shoot whatever you want.
I think that I learned that even just a short video takes a lot of work and a huge effort on, you know, the entire team, and thanks for that. Whereas, and if we would have gone with the initial plan of 8 venues, this project wouldn't be handed in on time.
No,
Yeah.
for sure.
So for this, I feel also that good thing is that we all work together of changing this idea, and we're all on the same page for this, so this helped a lot. And for me, another challenge was to do voiceovers in French and try to do voiceovers in English because I speak more French. And then Phil gave me cue for the voiceovers, and then he let me do also block of like voiceovers. So this helped me a lot, and I learned a lot about that.
I think for me, what was the most challenging? Well, there was a schedule. Like obviously, we all have like this is not like when we learn in class process. You know, it's like we have our jobs, and then we have this project above what we're supposed to do, and it's hard to get everyone to fit in that time. So I found that really, really challenging. The other thing was, you know, the editing, the shooting, and even to me, I thought it would be less work than what it was, and it ended up being very, you know, demanding.
So I would say, for me, what was challenging at the onset is scheduling. That was really difficult. Also, planning a little because it goes with the schedule, something like that, and communication.
Yeah, communication was not the
Communication was not easy, but we ended up making it work.
Yeah.
And
as far as I know, no one wrote an email to the teacher because they were mad.
we could communicate like.
So good job, guys.
Congratulations on being adults, dude.
Project management skills. So that's it.
Thanks
So you
everyone.
can watch our videos on our YouTube channel, Mange Montreal.